Hi friends, my name is Lindsay Huerta and I am with the Joint Educational Project's Young Scientists Program and Wonder Kids Program. And today, my friends, we are going to be discovering the physics behind roller coasters and how exactly they come to life. So let's get into it. So before we figure out how exactly roller coasters work, we need to figure out exactly what they are. So roller coasters are amusement park rides and they consist of a track and a cart, kind of like a train, and they go really, really fast. They have all sorts of twists and turns and drops, and as you can see here on the left, you can see the roller coaster cart and then the track, and then on the picture on the right, you can see all the twists and turns that they can have. And this is our vocabulary for today. You have engineer, which is someone who builds and designs machines, and then you have architect, which is someone who designs buildings. You also have gravity, which is the force that keeps everything grounded on Earth. But what does that even? So, like we said earlier, gravity is the force that keeps everything on Earth. And it's important to note that gravity is literally all around you. It's what keeps you on the floor. What would happen if there was no gravity? Well, you would float around. You wouldn't be able to stay on the floor like they do in space. But how does this help us? So, when something is going down a hill or something steep, gravity is pulling it in the direction that it's going, making the thing go faster. So you can see the ball on the screen is rolling downhill, but because gravity is in effect, it's pulling it and making it go faster. So, with that being said, how are roller coasters built? Well, architects and engineers use a plan called a blueprint. This helps them plan out exactly what the roller coaster should be, which leads us to this week's Scientist of the Week, Dr. Willie Hobbs Moore. Dr. Moore was an American physicist and engineer, and she was the very first African American woman to earn a PhD in physics. And like we said earlier, engineers and architects design roller coasters. So here are some real life examples of roller coaster blueprints that show you what architects and engineers really have to look at and design before they start building the roller coaster. But before we get into our roller coaster building, we should be thinking about why it's helpful to make a model of something before building it. So like our blueprint. How can we design our roller coasters before building them? Once we have the design, what should we do with it? And are there any other examples of things that you guys have designed? With that being said, today we're going to be our own engineers and architects because we are going to design and build our roller coasters. So you will need everything on the screen, but I will read it aloud anyways. You will need sketch paper, pool noodles, or paper if you don't have them, tape, measuring tape, a bucket, an obstacle, and a little marble. But we should keep in mind how tall we want our roller coaster to be, how many loops we want, and what can we use to make our drops higher. Also, how does gravity affect your track? It's important to keep in mind that having a tall roller coaster can make your marble or coin go faster. The roller coaster can use gravity on a hill or a drop to go faster. And with that being said, here's the blueprint that I designed. And with that all designed, I got to building. Now, I kind of had to change my blueprint a little bit because, as you can see, I am not in my living room. I am in my bedroom. So I had limited space. But what I'm doing here is I'm basically taping the pool noodles together. I cut them in half vertically just because I wanted to see how quick my marble or coin was going, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting stuck in between the pool noodles. But here, I'm just kind of taping my pieces together. I think overall I used 3. And then I'm taping the top part of the pool noodle to the top bunk because that was like the highest thing in my room. So I wanted to make sure that I had height on there. And I also wanted to make sure that it was secure because I didn't want my roller coaster to just fall. With that being said, here I am trying to figure out how to do a loop in real time. This took me like 30 minutes, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun. So here's me kind of like figuring out. What I ended up doing was I took a piece of tape and I took the 2 inner portions of the loop and I just taped those together. I really wanted to do some hills, however, my space did not allow for it and I tried really, really hard. But what I figured I could do was just make another loop. So here I am taping the bottom part to my floor so that I can make sure it doesn't move around, and I'm doing essentially the same thing that I did with the first loop. I'm taking a piece of tape and I'm taping the 2 inner parts together and then taping the outside of it. So as you can see, my roller coaster was kind of just flopping about, and I did not like that. So what I did is I grabbed some tape and I taped the two loops together. The way that I did that is I literally just wrapped tape around both of them and made sure that they fit to the track, quote unquote, that I built. So yeah, this is just me taping and reinforcing and more taping and more reinforcing. Oh, cool. What am I am I still taping and reinforcing? Yeah, I'm still taping. I'm still reinforcing. So after I got through with all of this taping and reinforcing, I ended up testing it and I saw that I had to tweak it a little bit to get my little coin to actually go down. Optionally, you can just redesign your whole blueprint and do it again, but I just moved mine a little bit and it worked. Yeah, thanks guys.